Hi viewers, how are you? This is my 7th class, and here in this class today we are going to discuss about motion under gravity. Here we are going to discuss about the motion of a body based on the gravity. Means here let us consider a body is being dropped from a particular height. So here what happens is it is traveling from higher position to lower position based on the gravity. So in this case here what we do is since the body is being freely followed, we consider the initial velocity as 0. Suppose if we project a body in the upward direction, observe that the body is being traveled in the upward direction like this. Means in order to project the body from initial position to final position, we have to apply the velocity. Means we have, if we apply the initial velocity to this body, then only it can change its position in the vertical direction. That is being represented here, motion under gravity. So here before going to start this topic, just we have to discuss about force due to gravity. Come to the case, this force due to gravity. Let us consider our earth. If a body is being dropped onto the earth at a particular height, here what happens is as the body is being freely left, it starts moving towards the earth. Means we can say that the force is acting on the body. So the force which is being dragging the body towards the center of the earth is known as a force due to gravity. And the acceleration acting in this case represents acceleration due to gravity. So come to the case of this acceleration due to gravity, it is being represented by g. Acceleration due to gravity is represented by g, and here the approximate value of g is 9.8 meter per second square. As we move from poles to the equator, it continuously changes. G value changes from poles to equator, but the approximate value of g is 9.8 meter per second square. Whereas here in the case of acceleration due to gravity, we neglect a viscous force. In the case of this gravity, we consider that the body is traveling in vacuum. On this itself we discuss about this acceleration due to gravity. Now, in the case of this motion under gravity, we consider acceleration as a constant. As the acceleration is constant, by considering the acceleration constant, we can consider kinematic equations, where the kinematic equations are v is equals to u plus at, and here s equals to ut plus half at square, and v square minus u square is equals to 2as, and the fourth equation is Sn is equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. So here come to the case, we can consider these equations when we consider acceleration is constant. Suppose if the acceleration is not constant, means if the acceleration is varying, then we consider rate of change equations, which we had seen in our previous video. Now based on this, now we are going to discuss this topic. Come to the case, we are saying that acceleration is a constant. So here let us consider that the body is falling freely. Then here we can represent that acceleration due to gravity is constant. Means if a body is being projected from a particular height, means if a body is moving from a height towards the earth surface, then we can say that acceleration due to gravity is constant. Suppose if a body is projected in the upward direction, then acceleration due to gravity is negative. So here based on this, now we are going to discuss about velocity, displacement, and displacement. So come to the case of this velocity. Here if the body is traveling in the upward direction, then we consider velocity as constant. Whereas if the body is traveling in the downward direction, then we consider the velocity as negative. Suppose in the case of displacement, if the initial position is below the final position, then we consider the displacement as constant. Suppose if the initial position is above the final position, then we consider displacement as a negative. So by considering this sign conventions, we can solve the problems based on these equations. So anytime, anywhere, when we consider any equation, we have to apply the sign conventions based on motion and gravity. Come to the case, here one more condition is, if we consider v equals to u plus at, here v is a vector, velocity is a vector quantity, and here initial velocity is also a vector quantity, and acceleration is a vector quantity. So here based on that, the resultant is also a vector. Whereas observe this, s equals to ut plus half a d square. Here s bar is equals to u bar, time is a scalar quantity, plus half into a bar into t square. It is also a vector quantity. Whereas here observe that v square minus u square equals to 2s. Observe that here v square is nothing but v dot v. Dot product of 2s means the resultant is a scalar. Here the equation is represented as a scalar. Whereas here observe this equation, s suffix n equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Here the resultant is a vector. So in the case of these 4 equations, 3 equations are vector resultants and 1 equation is a scalar resultant. The body is projected in a upward direction. Here the initial position is represented with the initial velocity. Here observe that the body is being projected in the upward direction with the initial velocity u. As it reaches to the maximum height, its final velocity is 0. So here the height traveled by the body has to be represented in this case. We have to find the maximum, and this maximum height is being derived by using the equation v square minus u square equals to 2as. V square minus u square equals to 2as. So that here velocity is 0, then we can write it as 0 square minus 0. Initial velocity is u square equals to. Observe that the bodies are traveling in the upward direction. So we can consider the acceleration due to gravity with minus and minus g into displacement is h max. As you substitute here, we have minus u square equals to minus 2g h max. Minus and minus gets cancelled, and here we have h max is equals to u square by 2g. So here, as you observe that in order to travel from initial position to final position, the body requires some time, and it represents as a time of ascent. Come to the case of this time of ascent, it is represented as t suffix a. In this case, here in order to find this, we consider the equation v is equals to u plus at. Here final velocity is 0 and initial velocity is u, and here acceleration due to gravity. Since the body is traveling in the upward direction, a equals to minus g into t is nothing but t suffix a. So here based on that, we can write it as u equals to g into t suffix a. Then t suffix a equals to u by g. Time of ascent is equals to u by g. Initial velocity by acceleration due to. In the case of time of descent, here what we say is that the time taken by the body to reach from maximum height to ground or initial position. The time taken by the body to reach from maximum height to the ground is known as the time of descent. So come to the case of this time of descent, it is being represented based on the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. S equals to ut plus half at square. So here now this final velocity becomes as initial velocity. Why? Because body is starting from this position. As you consider this, here the initial velocity is 0. Based on that, S is equals to, S is nothing but maximum height. H max is equals to 0 into T plus half into acceleration due to gravity. It is a constant G into T suffix D. So why? Because time T is equals to T suffix D. T equals to T suffix D. So here, based on that, here we have H max is equals to half G T suffix D, where we know that H max, maximum height, equals to U square by 2G. If we substitute here, we have U square by 2G is equals to G by 2 into TD. So here 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and if you bring this G towards this side, then we have T suffix D square equals to U square by G square. Then based on that, we can represent that T suffix D equals to U by G. T suffix D equals to U by G. Whereas the total time taken by the body in order to travel from initial position and again to reach the initial position is known as a time of flight. Time of a flight. Whereas the time of flight is represented by T suffix F, and it is given as the sum of time of ascent plus time of descent. Here time of ascent is nothing but U by G, and the time of descent is U by G. Then here we get it is equal to 2U by G. Time of flight is 2U by G. Now let us consider a case that a body is falling freely from a maximum height. Here, as you observe that since the body is falling freely, its initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0. As it reaches to the ground, its final velocity is V. And here the acceleration due to gravity is represented as plus G. Acceleration due to gravity is plus G. So by using the equation V square minus U square equals to 2AX. Whereas the height travelled by the body is represented by H. Then in this case, if we substitute here, V square minus G square equals to 2GH. Why? Because A equals to G and S equals to H. Based on that, we can write it as V square is equals to 2GH. Then V is equals to under root of 2GH. Now let's solve numericals based on this motion under gravity. Observe that if a body covers a maximum height of 32 meters. So here the maximum height is 32 meters. 32 meters. Find the height when its velocity becomes half. When its velocity becomes half. So here we have to find the height when its velocity becomes half of its initial velocity. Half of its initial velocity in a vertical motion. So here represented that the body is traveling in vertical motion. Whereas observe that let us consider the body is being projected with a velocity in the upward direction. So here its final velocity is 0. Final velocity is 0. Now here let us consider a point where its velocity becomes half of the initial velocity. Velocity becomes half of the initial velocity. Based on that, now we have to find this height h. In order to find this, let us consider 3 points as x, y, and z. X, y, and z. So let's consider total equation by using the equation. Why? Because here we have to find the initial velocity. Let us consider the equation as v square minus u square equals to 2ax. So here observe that the final velocity is 0. 0 square minus u square is equals to 2 into. Body is traveling in the upward direction. So acceleration due to gravity is minus g into s is nothing but maximum height 32. 30. So based on that, here we have minus u square equals to minus 2g into 32. Nothing but here minus and minus gets considered. We have u square equals to 64g. U square equals to 64g. Now based on this, now let us consider the height between y and z. As you consider here, we have v dash square minus u square equals to 2as. V dash square minus u square equals to 2as. So here v dash equals to u by 2 whole square minus u square is equals to 2 into acceleration due to gravity is minus g into s equals to h dash. I have to find this height. So based on this, here we know that u by 2 whole square is nothing but u square by 4 minus u square equals to minus 2g h dash. As we simplify this, here we get a minus 3 u square by 4 equals to minus 2g h dash. Here minus and minus gets cancelled, where we know that u square equals to 64g. And substituting this value here, we have 3 by 4 into 64g is equals to 2g h dash. G and g gets cancelled. 2 32 64. So here 4 8s are 32. Then here we have h dash equals to, observe that 8 3s are 24. So the height at which the initial velocity becomes half of its value is 24 meters. So come to the case, the next problem is a particle thrown vertically upwards with 20 meter per second. So here the initial velocity is 20 meter per second. Now we have to find the displacement of particle in 3 seconds. We have to find the displacement of the particle in 3 seconds as well as the distance covered by a body in 3 seconds. So here we can easily find the displacement, but in order to find the distance, it's a lengthy process. But so first of all, let us find out the displacement in this case. So in order to find the displacement here, we consider the equation is equals to ut plus half at square is equals to ut plus half at square, where here the time is 3 seconds and initial velocity is 20 meter per second. So that the body is being projected vertical upwards. So acceleration due to gravity is minus g. G is nothing but 10 meter per second square approximately. So here based on that, if we substitute the values, here we have is equals to u is 20 into 3 minus 1 by 2 into 10 into 3 square. So as we substitute here, we have 20 into 3 is nothing but 60. Here we have 5 into 9. Then here we get 60 minus 5 9 45, where we get 15 meters. So the displacement of the particle in first 3 seconds achieved from the ground is 15 meters. Means it is above the height of 15 meters from the ground. 15 meters from the ground after a time of 3 seconds. In order to find the distance here, what we do is we have to find time taken by the body in order to reach the maximum height. Time taken by the body in order to reach this maximum. After finding this, now we have to find the remaining case. So why? Because say that the body has reached the maximum height for a time of 3 seconds. Maybe it has reached the maximum height and again it returns back. We don't know that. So in order to find this, first of all we have to find the time taken by the body in order to reach the maximum. In order to find this, let us consider the equation v is equals to u plus at equals to u plus at. At maximum height, final velocity is 0. And here we consider the initial velocity as 20 meter per second. And here the acceleration due to gravity is minus g, is nothing but minus 10 meter per second square. As we substitute these values, here we have 0 equals to 20 minus 10 into t. So based on this, here we have 10 t is equals to 20. Then we get t is equals to 2 seconds. Observe that in order to reach the maximum height, the time taken by the body is 2 seconds. It has taken a time of 2 seconds in order to reach the maximum height. So here, based on that, we can say that 2 seconds is less than 3 seconds. After reaching the maximum height, again the body is traveling in the downward direction. So now we have to find this distance for 1 second. Let us find the distance traveled by the body for 2 seconds. And then here we have s equals to ut plus half at square is equals to ut plus half at square. Here distance traveled by the body in order to reach the maximum height is 20 into time is 2 seconds minus, because acceleration due to gravity is minus 1 by 2 into 10 into tan is 2 square is nothing but 4. As a substitute here we have 20 into 2 is nothing but 40 minus 20. How much distance it has travelled to reach the maximum height? 20 meters. So now we have to find the distance travelled by the body in the next 1 second. In the next 1 second. In order to find this, again we consider the equation s equals ut plus half at square. S equals to ut plus half at square. At this question, at the maximum height, velocity is 0 and this acts as initial velocity for the body in the downward direction. So as a substitute here we have s equals 0 into t plus half into, since the body is travelling in the downward direction, acceleration due to gravity is positive, into 10 into 1 square. 10 into 1 square. As a substitute here we have s equals to 1 by 2 into 10. 5. So in the next 1 second, the body travels a distance of 5 meters. So the total distance travelled by the body is s equals to 20 plus 5, nothing but 25 meters. 25. Now the next problem is that two bodies are moving in upward direction with velocities in the ratio of 2:3. Find the ratio of their maximum heights. So now here we have to find the ratio of these maximum heights. Let us consider a body is being projected in the upward direction. Two bodies are being projected in the upward direction. Where the first body's velocity is u1 and the second body's velocity is u2. Whereas the ratio of these two bodies' velocities are given as u1 by u2 is equals to 2 by 3. They are in the ratio of 2:3. So here let us consider the equation v square minus u square equals to 2as. Observe that since the body is being projected in the upward direction, its final velocity is 0. And here, as we know that acceleration due to gravity is minus g. Why? Because the body is traveling in the upward direction. Based on that, here if we substitute, we have 0 square minus u square equals to 2 into minus g into h. So from this we have minus u square equals to minus 2g h. Minus and minus gets cancelled. We have u equals to under root of 2g h. So as you observe this equation, here we have u square equals to 2g h. Based on this equation, we can say that h is directly proportional to u square. H is directly proportional to u square. Then we have to find the ratio of these maximum heights. Then based on that, h1 by h2 equals to u1 square by u2 square. u1 square by u2 square. We can also write it as u1 by u2 whole square. Whereas observe that u1 by u2 equals to 2 by 3. Then we have h1 by h2 is equals to 2 by 3 whole square. There we have 4 by 9. Ratio of maximum heights is 4 by. Next problem is a ball is dropped from a tower. In the last second, it covers a distance of 15 meters. Find the height of a tower. Let us consider the tower height is h. A body is being dropped from this height. It is being dropped from this height. Whereas in the last second, it has covered a distance of 15 meters. Means in nth second, the body has covered a distance of 15 meters. Now we have to find the height of this tower. We have to find the height of the tower. So now, in order to cover this distance, let us consider the body has travelled n seconds. Let us consider the body has travelled n seconds. So now we have to find this time based on this nth second equation. In order to find this, we have to consider the equation where we know that Sn equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 2n. Whereas in nth second, last second, the distance covered by the body is 15 meters. 15 is equals to, since the body is being projected from the maximum height, its initial velocity is 0 and acceleration due to gravity is positive 10 by 2 into 2n minus 1. 10 by 2 into 2n minus 1. So here 5 2s are 10. We have 15 is equals to 5 into 2n minus 1. So here 5 3s are 15. Then we have 3 is equals to 2n minus 1. From this we have 2n is equals to 3 plus 1, which is nothing but 4. Then n is equals to 4 by 2 is equals to 2 seconds. So the time taken by the body to travel from maximum height to ground is 2 seconds. So based on this time, now we have to find the height of this tower. Whereas the height of the tower is given by the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. So here height h is equals to 0 into t plus half into acceleration is 10 into time is 2 seconds, nothing but 2 square 4. 2 square is 4. So 5 2s are 10. Then we have h equals to 0 into t is 0. 0 plus something is something. So we have 5 into 4, nothing but 20 meters. Height of the tower is 20. The body is falling from top of 39.2 meter. At the same time, another body moving in upward direction with velocity 19.6 meter per second. Find when and where they will meet. Observe that a body is being projected in the downward direction from a height of 39.2 meters, and another body is being projected in the upward direction with a velocity of 19.6 meter per second. So as these two bodies are moving in the upward and the downward direction like this, we have to find when and where these two bodies are going to meet. So here let us consider the path. That height of this path is 39.2 meter. 39.2 meter. Whereas another body is being projected in the upward direction with a velocity of 19.6 meter per second. Let us consider at a height of x. The two bodies meet at a position of x. So the remaining height is 39.2 minus x. 39.2 minus x. So based on this, now we have to find the time at which these two bodies meet. In order to find this, let us consider the first equation s equals to ut plus half at square. So by considering the equation s equals to ut plus half at square, here as you observe that the height traveled by the body when they meet is 39.2 minus x. From this we have 39.2 minus x equals to, here in the case of freely falling body, initial velocity is 0. 0 into t plus half into acceleration due to gravity is positive, and it is represented as 9.8 into t square. 9.8 into t square. So here why we consider 9.8 means here observe that it is in the form of decimals. So if we consider the decimal value, here automatically we can solve this equation. Then we can write it as 30. So based on that, here we have 4.9 t square is equals to 39.2 minus x. From this equation, here we have x equals to 39.2 minus 4.9 t square. 4.9 t square. Again, now let us consider the case of the body which is traveling in the upward direction. So again consider the same equation s equals to ut plus half at square. S equals to ut plus half at square. Here the distance traveled by the body where the meet is x. From this here x equals to initial velocity is 19.6 into t. 19.6 into t plus half into acceleration due to gravity is minus 9.8 into t square. 9.8 into t square. From this we have x equals to 19.6 t minus 9.8 by 2 is nothing but 4.9 t square. So here we have x equals to 39.2 minus 4.9 t square, and here we have x equals to 19.6 minus 4.9 t square. Can we equate both these equations? If we equate both these equations, we have 39.2 minus 4.9 t square equals to 19.6 minus 4.9 t square. So here 4.9 t square gets cancelled. Then we have 19.6 into t. 19.6 into t is equals to 39.2. So here 19.6 2s are. We get a 2 seconds. So at a time of 2 seconds, these two bodies will be. Based on that, now we have to find the distance at which these two bodies are going to be. So can we substitute this value in this equation? If we substitute here, we have x equals to 19.6 into 2 minus 4.9 into 2 square is nothing but 4. We have x equals to 19.6 into 2, nothing but 39.2 minus 4 9s are 36 and 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 3, 19.6. So based on that, if we subtract, we have 19.6 meters. So the two bodies meet at a height of 19.6 meter from the ground. Our next problem is water droplets fall at regular intervals from a tap. So here we have a tap and which is 5 meter above the ground. The tap is at a height of 5 meters from the ground. So the third drop is leaving the tap at the instant the first drop touches the ground. As the first drop touches the ground, the third drop just tries to leave the tap. How far above the ground is second drop at that instant? So now we have to find the height of the second drop at that instant. So the height of the tap is 5 meters. The time at which the first drop leaves the tap is considered as 0. Now we have to find the time taken by the first drop to touch the ground from this height. So we consider the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. S equals to ut plus half at square. As the drop is falling freely, initial velocity is 0. We have to find the time taken by the body and water droplet and the acceleration due to gravity is considered as 10 meter per second square. G is equals to 10 meter per second square. As we substitute these values, and here s equals to 5 meters. Height of the tap is 5 meters. As we substitute here, we have 5 is equals to 0 into t plus half into acceleration due to gravity is 10 into t square. 10 into t square. So based on that, we know that 5 is 10. We have 5 is equals to 5 t square. Then we have t square equals to 5 by 5. Then we have 1. Then we can write it as t equals to 1 second. Plus or minus of 1 second. Where we know that the time will not be in negatives. So we can state as a plus 1. So here the time is 1 second. So as you observe that the time taken by the first drop to reach the ground is 1 second. As you observe that they are traveling in regular time intervals. The drops are traveling in regular time intervals. So based on that, we can say that as the second drop will be at a particular position for a time of half second. Will be in between first drop and the third drop at the time of half second. So based on this, now we have to find the height of this droplet. So in order to find this, again we consider the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. S equals to ut plus half at. So at this height, s equals to initial velocity is 0. 0 into t plus 1 by 2 into acceleration due to gravity is plus 10. And here we have time. After that, half second means 1 by 2 whole square. Then the height is represented as s equals to 1 by 2 or 5 2s are 10. We have 5 into 1 by 4, nothing but 5 by 4. So it can be represented as 1.25 meters. So from the tap, the second droplet is at a height of 1.25 meter. But here he asked us to find out the height of the second drop from the ground. Then height is given as h equals to total height minus height of the drop from the tap 1.25. Then height of the water droplet from the ground is 3.75 meter. 3.75 meter. Here we have 1.25 meter and this height is 3.75 meter.